we're gonna make some ocean things because I had an idea. Hello, we're going to make some ocean items. Here are some stickers. We have a whale sticker and a seahorse family and an octopus. These are for the fridge magnets, but they were too big, so I made them smaller. And then we have some orcas, some free willies, and some plants, and some sharks, and a dory, and a flounder, and a crab, and a turtle, and a scuttlefish. So I think we will put some stickers in the box. Let's get started on making some more items. So I made new bookmarks and the Tanuki power-up character cards. Okay, and then here's a list of all of the Tanuki power-ups, so you would get a card so you can punch a hole in the ones that you collect. And then it has my logo on the back. And then these are going to be the character cards. I had a little bit of trouble printing them, so we will print them better. These are just prototypes. So the little character card, and then it'll have a card back. This one's white, and this one's dark. Prototypes. We will fix this. But yeah, there's your Tanuki power-up character cards, so you would get one of these. And then let's finish making the bookmarks. They're reversible. This one is movie themed. Can you guess the movies? These are 2" by 6" bookmarks, and I printed them a little bit wide, so when I cut it, it's still 2 by 6. So, okay, those are reversible bookmarks. We're going to cover them with sticker paper. So let's see, we should be able to get to one. No, we'll just do it like this. Okay, so we'll cut it like, hold on, we have to do math. We'll have to do it this way. Yeah, so let's cut it in half. That's not bad. Got a little air bubble. Come back. It might be easier to fix when we start cutting it. It's really not bad though. But we can make it better. Okay, much better. Now they're sparkly and laminated. So make sure to get as close as we can. Squish it all down. Oh, I made lots of air bubbles on that one. I don't know, I've never done this before, so let's see what happens when we cut it. With orcas and sharks and an octopus on one side, and a crab, scene with a palm tree. I will figure out how to not make air bubbles. Okay, a laminated reversible movie themed bookmark. Sparkly. Okay. Next piece. Well, let's try these. Okay, so these are fridge magnets. I printed them like 3 or 4 times and they're always too big. So let's see how we did this time. I did not bring a paintbrush. Do I have a paintbrush over here? Okay, so that's much closer. We're hoping that you can still see the scene after we glue it to the magnets. And then we have magnets over here. But we should do this part first and maybe clean up our trash. This maybe might help. Okay, trash pile. I'll make a trash pile. Okay, here are their Tanuki power-ups. Here we can, so we have the examples with no lamination and lamination. These are all your stickers and your character cards. So, these are vinyl stickers. So like this one, I got it wet and I put it on my hand and then I put it on the bag and it's still there, even though it got wet and skin oils. So they do have a white background, but they are vinyl stickers. Okay, now these we have to cut out round and we're going to use Mod Podge. Because, yeah, we're going to try it. There's a little orca family. And then we have the sharks and octopus. There's a seahorse in there too and a shrimp. But it's kind of hard to see. But we'll see what it looks like under the marble. And this is cardstock. And I think it might actually work better with regular paper because of the glue. But I guess we'll see. We're just prototyping. And this one is a Nemo family with seahorses and the shrimp and their small friends. Let's see, I made 3 with the intention that 2 might work out okay. So, how are we going to apply the glue? Hold on. Okay, looks like this brush already has been used for glue, so let's just go ahead and use it again for glue. So, okay, let's try this one first. Here, we'll put it on here so it has some backing. Okay, so let's try one where we put glue on it first. I said that already. I'll just put like, oh, that's more than I thought. Okay, let's try Nemo. It looks cloudy, but it dries clear. So, all right, let's just set him aside. And then we'll try one. It'll make like waves. I hope it dries clear. Okay. So we're just gonna see what happens. You don't know unless you try, right? So we're gonna try. I guess we could try putting the magnet on already. I got these. I don't even know like which side is which. But that side sticks. Oh, they both stick. Okay. Then we'll just try it. I might put more Mod Podge on the magnet part later, but let's just see if it dries like attached, and then we'll clean up from my fingerprints too. But you can kind of see, because it kind of makes like a magnifying effect, so you can still see the last part that we're making is the most involved. Here's the plan. It's going to be a box with hanging ocean animals. Okay, so I printed it up here, so we'll have to fix that. Either change the margins or I'll have to cut them all out. But I don't want to lose the inches, so we'll just do the prototype like this. It also printed with lines on it, so we'll have to adjust the printer head. So just pretend like there's no lines there. So I'm actually going to use the lines because that's pretty close to where we wanted it to fold. I should have brought a cutter. I might have to cut this out off camera. But I should probably do that before I start folding. So, time out. Oh, look, here's one. Okay, not ideal. That is not a great idea. I'll have to get a cutting board. So, let's go back to folding. So my plan for these would be, this would be a quarterly thing, and each one would have a different theme. So this one is ocean. I have some ideas for the next few, but we'll have to see how it goes. This is not going well. I should have folded this part first. We're halfway there. Now we have to do the same fold on the bottom and right here. Okay, so yeah, definitely fold it before you cut out the window, because it changes how the paper behaves. And then I was thinking maybe we could sell them as either where you just get it and then you would fold it and put it together yourself, or it would already be put together by me. So you have options. I cut these off camera so I would remember. So you just make 4 cuts right here, which I would probably, I don't know if I would cut them already if I mailed it as a make your own, or if I would just have a little line so you would know where to cut. And then we just put a little bit of glue. We're going to put it on the back side. So a little bit of glue right here. And then you want to fold it up so that it makes a corner. Maybe use glue that's less than 10 years old. Make your corners. We're not going to put glue on these ones because we want it to be able to open and close still, like a book. So I just kind of fold that into the middle. Okay. And then we'll let it dry. And then it'll be able to open and close. So we'll have to print this over just a hair over this way. I guess we could cut it out more. I'm disappointed. I thought my math was correct. It's a little bit better. Okay, so just pretend like it's centered. Okay, so this is gonna go in the window here, so we'll try to get it as... And then the next step would be to cut some holes in here for the animals. We'll need to leave like a little spot for the string. we could also try cutting these out of like cardstock and then putting the sticker paper over them so they would sparkle. But like I said, I want this to be like a quarterly thing and it won't always be ocean. So then it might look weird if they're like all sparkly. We could also try printing them on both sides of the transparency so they would just be a little bit like darker because it would be printed on both sides. So originally I had made a different type of box where you fold it up over and it's just like, it's more like a picture frame. So then you could stick like the plants and the Nemos into the bottom or the side of the frame, but it didn't stand up. So I went to this type of design, which means that I can only hang stuff. Oh, you know what I just realized? It didn't print the white parts. That's so weird that it didn't print out the white because I'm pretty sure that it's like actually bucket filled white in there and not just like transparent, but it made it transparent. That's good to know. So if you print white on a transparency, it will not print. Fascinating, we learned something. Okay, moving on. So I guess if I did it as a make your own, I don't know if I would cut these out for you too, or leave that for you to do yourself so that you can cut them out the way that you want to. Or like maybe you want him to hang by his tail or be like this or something. So you can decide where to put the hole on your own, maybe, if it's the make your own box. Otherwise, I'll do all the cutting and hanging and putting it all together in the ones that are already built. And then we'll do the same thing again every quarter. Okay, so my plan was like 6 or so animals to hang, so we have 6 now. We do have the plants in the window, and there's some bubbles, but you can't really see them right now. But okay, so there's 6 animals for the hanging in the box. Now, I would also send you the thread. I'm gonna use thread because that's what I have. And so I would send you pieces, enough pieces that you could hang them all individually, or I'm just going to try 2 so that it's only 2 holes. Get back in there, Pink. I know you want to come with me, but it's not time for you. Okay. And then blue or white, I guess. I used green for the other prototypes, but I didn't show you those yet. So you don't know. So I had to go get my charger. So I got the prototypes that I was talking about. And then I spilled glue everywhere because I was trying to fix this one. I just threw that on the floor. Okay, yeah, we're doing great. Okay, so let's set this one aside here. Let me show you this other prototype. This is where I just messed it up just now. This is just cellophane because I didn't have the transparency paper yet. So this is also not cardstock, it is watercolor paper, so that's why it's a little bit thicker of a border. I painted it to look like this instead of printing it. This is printed on my printer and this is hand painted, but I painted it after I folded it which I would not do. I also folded it wrong, so it's a little bit weaker than this one. This one is the frame one that I was talking about, which I thought would be really cute because in every quarter you would get a new frame. You could just put a little picture frame on your desk, and then you could also put these in the bottom. I put some plants and the octopus in the bottom, and then I was gonna put the little Nemos, pretend like this is a Nemo, the little Nemos in the side, but you can't do that with this one. So yeah, I don't know, but I could not get this one to stand up. I tried a paper clip and a back, but then I have to mail you a paper clip, and it's just, yeah. So this is prototype type number 1, and this is prototype type number 2. So let's go ahead and finish the actual prototype, and then but yeah, so you would have like books. They would look like books on your bookshelf, or then you could open it also if you wanted to see the inside, and it would have the scene on the inside too, for different themes every quarter. That's the plan. So back to here. Remember, this will be a little bit more centered correctly. Don't use your finger as the backboard. Okay, and then I would just go ahead and tie him on there so he doesn't move around too much. So if you got the make your own kind, you could, like I said, you would make your own holes. So if you wanted him to be more facing down, then you would put it, oh my gosh, closer to his tail so that he would be like this instead of like this. So you could choose those positionings for yourself if you had that version, or I will choose for you and try to do my best if you want the version where I make it for you. So then you put one string through this hole and the other string through this hole. Got some glue on Mr. Crab, so just pretend like he's clean, because I'm awesome. And then we have our hanging animal friends. So I'm going to close the door of the little book, because it becomes a book instead of a picture frame. So you got to tuck these in, and then you want the bottom to go, or the back to go on the inside. The back. So that you wouldn't see them right here. So we'll put them on this side in the future, and then you won't be able to see how I did it on this one. They're not on the outside, they're on the inside. That's why we make multiple prototypes, because I'm awesome. So this would be the hand-painted version that I would paint before I folded it, because that's how you get this happening here. I do like it better with the transparent animals, and I like the bubbles. You can kind of see the bubbles. You can also see my fingerprints, which is fun. And then we have our animal friends on the inside. Now, I haven't tried one where I do like all the animals on separate strings. I don't know if that would work better, because this transparency film is very clingy. So they're trying to like cling to each other. So anyways, pretend like it's on that side and close it. You could put it on, you know, your shelf or whatever. This version, unlike this version, there's really nothing else you can do to it to make it stand up better other than like adding something to it. But with this style, if it's not closing, you can just kind of open it a little bit and then it would stand and it would look sort of open. But I can also go back over it later after everything is for sure dry and make these creases a little bit stronger, so it would have more of a boxy shape. So there are our prototype products. Let's look at them all together. So you would get the box. The box would have a different theme each quarter. That would stay pretty much the same. You would get, you know, 6 or 8 pictures that would go inside of it, and then the background. I might try, because we have to fix these line issues anyways, so I might do like the animals that didn't make it into the box and do like a scene, so there's more stuff to look at around the outside. But like I said, we were prototyping and making our mistakes on this one. And then you would get 2 reversible laminated bookmarks, and then your Tanuki power-ups. So you would get 1. These are collectibles, so like I said, this would be quarterly. So every quarter you would get a new power-up, and then it would also come with these, which I printed a little bit off, so I will fix that. But the original plan for these when they were on Twitch was if you collect all of one color, so you have all of the green ones, or this is teal, sorry, all of the teal ones, a keychain. So I will send you a keychain, either that I make myself or that I have made somewhere. I have a few ideas for that. And then if you collect all of one level, a t-shirt. So I know there's an example of Twitchy wearing the teal shirt, but I don't think I could make that style unless I like physically tie-dyed it, and then I don't have a heat press. So I could either tie-dye it for you or have it made somewhere with just like the square image, like on TeePublic. So anyways, and then each time you would get a little punch card, so you could keep track of which ones you have and make sure that you get your keychain and your shirt. I will also keep track of those as well, so don't worry about it. And then we have the fridge magnets, so you would get either 2 or 3, I don't know, I had 3 scenes that I couldn't decide between. I might just kind of, because they kind of both have the same bottom with the seahorses and the shrimp and stuff, and you can't really even see those. So I might change this one and just have the sharks and the octopus and have them more in the water like the orcas. And then, I don't know, maybe we could do 3 fridge magnets. They don't add too much weight. 2 bookmarks, and then I was thinking like 5 stickers, and I thought it might be fun if they were random. So it would be like 1 plant and 4 random animals, because everyone likes surprises. So let's just pretend that you got 1 plant and 4 animal stickers. I don't know. I couldn't decide which ones should be stickers because they're all so cute. So maybe it would be fun to randomize, or I don't know. What do you guys think? Let me know what you think. So, but this could be an example of what you would receive for your quarterly box. This would be the ocean box, and then the next one would have a different theme. And these products here could change. I would like to keep them at the same price point, so that each month is the same price. but these items would change, and as I learn how to make new things, we could make new things. I have a lot of ideas for that, but basically, here's my idea. So let me know what you guys think. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.